Hey, we're just starting up here. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the live stream tonight, Sunday. Well, it's night for me because if you don't know, my name is Robin Shaw. I'm a Canadian teacher, and it's night for me because I teach in Korea, and right now it's 10:30 p.m. here in South Korea. So, good day to you. Evening for me. Anyway, welcome everyone to tonight's live stream. I am trying to do live streams every night. Of course, I think this is live stream nine in a row. I think I'll continue to do live streams in the future every night. So next week, here's the schedule. I will follow the same schedule as last week. So again, a lot of you went to the different live streams, and if you liked a certain live stream, like the certain topic of a live stream, then you just come back to that same day this or next week, in the upcoming week. So I'll follow the same schedule. There's the schedule. So tomorrow, Monday, Q&A, English Q&A. If you have any English questions, come ask me. Tuesday Q&A. And why do I do Monday and Tuesday Q&A? Because Monday and Tuesday, I'm very busy. I don't have enough time to prepare another lesson. But Wednesday, I will do another IELTS, TOEFL topic, Thursday pronunciation, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday will be the same. Okay, so I'll do that for next upcoming week. Of course, if you need to talk to me for other reasons, the best way is the links below. Check the links below. I'm usually in WhatsApp. That's the best way, but there's other apps I use if you need to talk to me. Okay, so before I get into the topic tonight, and I think most of you know the topic, even though, before I start that, I'm just going to take a look at the chat room to see who's here. And I think Layla's here, Diallo should be here, Carrie, whatever. Great topic. Thanthan Nui. I still don't know how to pronounce that. Prakar's here. Jose Silva. Hello, people. Hello, Jose. Grace is early. 2 minutes early. Bermantica. Oh, you're back. Our winner from the game. Bermantica Octavianti. You could share my link with anyone. Of course, I want more viewers. Octavianti. Hello. I hope all of you share the link. If you think I do something valuable here, yeah, I want more students. Sadiq, Heng Tong, Stephanie, Paulus. Reina Jumi. Okay. Adamu, Nohu, Khaled. Hello. Silicone. Oh, okay. You're in the group. A lot of these people are in my WhatsApp groups. Nice to see you here. Engine Ors. Well, I don't think I've seen you before, Engine Ors. Welcome. Any Parwandari. Welcome. Finally, I am here. Musica Timor Lorese. Okay, welcome. Call me Tika. Okay, I think thank you very much, Tika. If you could give me a simple way to call your name, I'll try to remember that. And Cassio's back. Ahmed Sulman. Welcome everyone to this lesson. And I'm going to start the lesson soon. Of course, the introduction is now. We're doing that now. Every live stream is the same. Introduction. We're going to get into the topic, and then after the topic, it's just English Q&A. So if you have any English questions, ask me later. But right now, I'm going to get into the topic of Although, even though, though. And I'm going to go to this screen. Welcome all. Just typing in the chat here. All right, so why did I choose this topic? Because this was a common question from last week that I didn't answer. A lot of people were asking me, and I said it kind of takes too long to explain. And as I'm making this presentation tonight, this lesson, I realized it doesn't take that long to explain because it's all very easy to use these words. And let's move on. All right, so the best way to learn although, though, even though, is not by watching me. Okay? I can help, but I'm a good way, but I'm not the best way to learn these words. The best way is listening and reading to English native speakers, movies, reading books. This is the best way to learn these words. Okay? I am not the best way. This is a good way, but not the best way. Why is it the best way? Because it's very important you hear these words in proper context. The context means the situation. So if you're watching a movie and one of the characters says though or even though, okay, you're going to hear that. Or you're reading a book and you see it printed, you're going to hear that. So read that. A lot of exposure, you see these words a lot of times, and you eventually gain a sense of when to use these words. So the key is exposure. Listening, hearing these words, reading these words a lot in a lot of situations, hundreds of situations. Then you will get the sense of these words. Today, I can give you a little, I have value today because I can give you some information about these words. But if you really want to master these words, I always suggest or recommend reading. You read every day. Okay, I'm just checking the group. Andy Kim, hello all. Ms. Priel, I am well. Zolo drifting. What are you talking about, Zolo drifting? Do you consider yourself a National Socialist? That's not even an English question. Okay. Let's see. And Regi, okay. Hello, Robin. Okay, welcome back. We're talking about although, though, even though. So again, the best way, listening and reading. Okay, a few notes on these words. All these words, although, though, even though, they want to show contrast. Okay, between two clauses. So I'm not going to teach clauses, but the main part of you have a sentence, the main part of one sentence, and the main part of another sentence. And if you combine these sentences, we have one clause, some information, and another clause, some information, and you combine them. These words want to show some contrast between the clauses. Something's different between these clauses. So these are words to show contrast. Something doesn't match between these clauses. Now, to help you out, very similar to words but, however, nevertheless, nonetheless, despite, in spite of. Okay, they don't mean the same as these words, but they're in the same family, okay? Because all of these words usually want to show some conflict or contrast between two clauses. But they're not the same, all right? Same family, but not exactly the same. Just that they want to show contrast. And pronunciation of the GH. Before I go into examples of sentence examples, we're just going to do a little bit of pronunciation. Make sure you guys know how to pronounce these words. So you can see the GH is silent. Of course, we never say that GH. So everyone, repeat after me. Although. Everyone. Although. Though. I can't hear you. Though. Even though. Even though. Okay? Although. Though. Even though. That's how you pronounce. Make sure you don't say those, you don't say the GH. That's silent. You need it for spelling, but not for your speaking. I'm going to check the chat room really quick because we have a little bit of activity there. What's going on in the chat room? Andy, I like your shirt, Robin. Thank you. For the live streams, I usually have to wear solid colors. I usually don't wear check shirts or stripes. Most of my shirts are check or stripe, but I can't wear them because it looks better on the live stream if you have a solid color. So there's reasons I choose solid colors. Thank you, Andy. Layla's already into an example. I always visit my parents, although I'm very busy. That is correct, except you do not need the capital A. You got a big A on although. It just should be small a. Twilly, hello Twilly. Did you get a haircut? No, I didn't get a haircut. Maybe compared to a few days ago, I have less hair, Andy, and you're confused that isn't a haircut. Itayak ankle, good and thanks. All right, let's get into some examples. Well, before the examples, I guess I have a little more information. So how do we use these words? Although. So although, though, even though are very similar. Okay, they're almost the same. The biggest difference is which part of the sentence you're going to see it. Okay, so although is usually in the beginning or middle of a sentence. Okay, it's not at the end of a sentence. Now this is important. When you're learning although, though, even though, you have to know which part of the sentence, and this is probably where most students are confused. So you got to remember, although. My favorite among them, so when I'm writing essays, I usually use although. And I use that always at the beginning of a sentence. It can be used in the middle of the sentence, but I highlighted beginning because that's what I prefer. And I hope you guys, if you're using although, try to use that in the beginning of a sentence. But it can work in the middle of a sentence. Though you can use the beginning, the middle, the end of a sentence. I highlighted end because that's where it works best, is at the end of a sentence. But it can be used at the beginning or middle of a sentence. And it is really informal. It's more of a casual expression. It works very well. So if I'm writing an essay, again, for me, I'm going to use although at the beginning of a sentence. Probably in my essays, I'm not going to use though. I could. It's not necessarily bad, but just my preference. But for speaking, I use although and though a lot. All right. I don't want, there's so many ways to use these words. I don't want to confuse you, but for the most part, I'm going to tell you how I use them. So when I'm writing, I usually only use although at the beginning of a sentence. And when I'm speaking, I'll use although or though. But if you want something at the end of a sentence, it has to be though. Although cannot go at the end of a sentence, only though. And even though, our last one. It's the beginning and middle of the sentence, like although. You cannot use it at the end. And this is used to emphasize a shocking or unexpected contrast. So when you have the two parts, the two clauses of your sentence, you're giving two pieces of information, and they really very strong contrast, we might use even though. All right. So for this slide, the most important thing to know is which part of the sentence we use it. Although and even though at the beginning, I recommend. You can use them in the middle. And though is the only one we can use at the end. Okay? Now that is the rule, but native speakers break these rules all the time. So you might hear a native speaker use although at the end. They shouldn't, but it's possible. All right, let's continue. I think now we got the example sentences. Example sentences, this will help you. If you got any questions during the live stream, please ask me. Okay. Layla asks, well, she has an example there. I want to learn English, though it was hard. Okay. You're using though correctly, but you shouldn't use was, Layla. You should use is. I want to learn English, though it is hard. And let's look at my example. Although it was expensive, I bought it. Okay. So we have two clauses there, and you can see the two clauses are separated by the comma. So in the first part, I want to explain that it was expensive, and then, something expensive, we kind of think, oh, maybe not to buy it, but this person is trying to express, although it was expensive, I bought it. Okay. The second example, this person is throwing although in the middle of the sentence. So it's right there. I bought it, although it was expensive. So you can see beginning and middle. Oh, and we have Tika put, although I hate him, but I am still helping him. All right, so Tika, if you're looking at the chat, really good expression here, but there's a problem. She says, although I hate him, but I am still helping him. And she asked, is it true? So you're using the first part, although I hate him, but you don't want to use although and but in the same sentence. Although is enough, okay? So you just have to say, although I hate him, comma, I am still helping him, period, okay? Take out that but. You don't want to use although and but. And then Aduma Nuhu Khaled, although I was sick, S-I-C-K, I went to work. That is correct. Okay, so yeah, Tika, you don't want to use although and but. Although is enough. People will understand. All right, so let's go on to though. Same. Instead of although it was expensive, I could just say though it was expensive. I bought it. And then it was expensive, period. So I have one sentence, and then I'm putting another sentence that's going to contrast that sentence. It was expensive. I bought it though. Okay, So there's though used very well at the end of a sentence. Remember, we don't want to use although or even though at the end of a sentence, only though. And that's even though. Even though it was expensive, I bought it. I bought it even though it was expensive. All right, so you can see how similar these words are. Okay, so although, though, even though, they're used to, in one part to say something is very expensive, and I want to use but because it's similar to the word but. Although something is expensive, but they bought it. Okay, so although it was expensive, I bought it. Though it was expensive, I bought it. Even though it was expensive, I bought it. Okay, so those are some good examples of how similar these words are. The most difficult part is knowing where they go in the sentence. I'm going to check the chat room now to see some of your examples. Regi, okay. Although it was snowing a lot, I had to go to work. Yeah. Heng Tong, although I feel unwell, you can't say also there. You guys, your grammar using though, although is correct, but the other parts of the sentence, there's some problems. So you want to say, although I feel unwell, I have to go shopping, or I must go shopping, something like that. Although I have a headache, I watch your live stream. Is that true? Or does my live stream give you a headache? Maybe I give many people a headache. And Layla, although the doctor said to me, don't eat a lot of fat, I eat it. Yeah. And Grace, you made the same mistake in the WhatsApp chat. You're spelling though wrong. You're putting a T. When you put that T, that is thought. You don't want to make that mistake. So no T. So she always, and your sentence needs more information, more context. So those she always has, though it beats me why. She always has what? We don't know. You need to give us information. Is this correct, Layla? Yeah, that's the question you want to ask. All right, Carrie, whatever. He called me a friend, and I would put a period, and then a next sentence. He doesn't like me, though. So he called me, you could say, he called me a friend, though he doesn't like me. He called me a friend, period. He doesn't like me, though. And Regi, okay, is right. Bromanti or Tika, I will go, get rid of Facebook here. I will go to Jakarta even though I am busy. Correct. Susanna, hi beautiful people from Barcelona. Welcome. We're talking about although, though, even though. All right, let's do some practice here. What is the answer to this? Blank. The food was delicious. I did not eat it. What's the answer? Type it. I'm looking more at your examples. Although I am 55 years old, I want to learn English. Yep. I came back home early to watch Robin's live stream, although my friends wanted to chat more with me. Yeah, that is correct. Is that true, Grace? So you're putting in the answers. Susanna, I don't understand it, although I try. Yeah, that's possible. Although I was sick, I was studying English. Though my friend's house is far, comma, I visited her. That would be best. All right, so for practice one, a lot of you are putting though, some of you put though, and actually the answer could be anything. It's although, even though. Everything works there. Everything works in the beginning. Although the food was delicious, I did not eat it. Even though the food was delicious, I did not eat it. And though the food was delicious, I did not eat it. Okay, they all work there. So the answer is although, even though, though. That's how easy it is to use these words. Just, you got to know. Okay, let's take a look at practice 2. What's the answer? While you guys are typing the answer, I'm going to check the chat room. What's your answer? Andy Kim, last weekend I went snowboarding for the first time. Is that true? I had a lot of fun, even though I fell like 100 times. Yeah, a friend of mine broke his hand recently snowboarding. It sounds very dangerous, but your sentence is correct. I think I started to get the hang of it, though. When we put though at the end, we usually put a comma, though. All right, I see. Even though, although some of you think it's all, well, yes. I failed the exam, although I studied a lot, even though I studied a lot. Okay, they all can work there. But. One of those is better. One of those is really good. Which one is they all can work, but one is the best. Which one is best? And I'm checking. Let's see. Twilly. Yeah. Even though. Remember, we want to use even though for emphasizing. So very strong contrast. And in this sentence, I'm saying easy exam and I studied a lot. That doesn't match, okay? I failed. It was an easy exam, but I studied a lot. So there's a very strong contrast between the clauses. So we would probably use even though to emphasize that this was a really big problem. Oh, Florid, even though. Regi, okay, even those two words. Grace, can I put even if? No, that is a completely different idea. That is not the same family. Yeah, even though is better. Practice 3. Let's take a look. She bought me a sweater. I didn't like it. What's the answer to practice 3? Yeah, everyone, that seems to be easy for everyone because at the end of the sentence, the only thing that works is though. She bought me a sweater. I didn't like it though. Okay, so it's the end of a sentence. We cannot say although. We cannot say though. We can't say although. We can't say even though. We can only use though. And I'm checking Tika, so what's the functions of though and although for showing the contrast between two conditions? Well, it shows the contrast. We're saying, because it's a conjunction like but, we're showing this and then a conjunction showing some problem. In this case, although this, but some problem. This, although there's some problem. Q&A is later, Florin. Soon, in about 5 or 10 minutes. All right, there's one more practice, I think. I bought a new phone for $1,000. That's expensive. I really wanted it. And you guys know the rules, and you know right away what that can be. Okay, so, but the reason I put this practice here is we can see that we're using it as a response to someone. So I bought the phone for $1,000, and then that person says, that's expensive. And then we're responding to them. And we want to say, I really wanted it though. Okay? But you know right away it's though. All right. Even though you guys are writing, let's see, I failed the easy exam. You should, Musica Timor La Rose. You should say, the best is even though I studied a lot. That's the best. But though is okay. All right. Though. So we'll just spend a few minutes. You guys make sentences using although, though, even though. Try practicing some sentences about your life. Okay, don't copy my examples today. Try to tell me something about your life using these words. All right. So get out your thumbs if you're on a phone or a keyboard. Give me some example sentences. Try to get your spelling right and try to use these 3 words correctly. And I'm going to check. Grace, fix your sentence. I did not teach even. There is no expression even. I did not teach any expression. Florin, I can fail to find my words to speak even though I practice English a lot. Okay, so Florin, you're using even though correctly. I would cut out can. You don't need can. I fail to find my words to speak even though I practice English a lot. And Thana, Pradana, hello. Although my house is old. Okay, but it has complete facilities. All right, Thana, very important. You do not want to use but in the same sentence with although, though, even though. They're all very similar to the word but. But we don't want to use but. Take out but. We only want to use these words. So Thana, although my house is old, it has good facilities. All right, Grace. Even though I am Korean, I feel Korean is hard. Okay, so your sentence is correct. But you need a verb in your second clause. So maybe you should say, even though I am Korean, I feel speaking Korean is hard or living in Korea is hard. I'm not sure what's the problem with Korea. Excuse me. Murtada Al-Manifa. Even though I was sick yesterday, I went to visit my teacher, Robin. Yes. Winui, although I'm busy, I must go to his birthday party. Yes. Tika, I want to buy a dog even though I can't put it in my home. Is that true? I want to buy a dog even though I can't put it in my home. Yep. Although we can have a problem, we can over. So, Florent, although we can have a problem, everyone's typing. Although we can have a problem, comma, we can overcome those. And you put those, so you should put problems. Actually, you should say, although you're using although correctly, but I'm fixing the grammar of your sentence, Florent. Although we can have problems, comma, we can overcome them would be better choice of words. Than Nui, although she is ugly, I love her. Wow. Maybe you should say even though to give more emphasis. Even though she's ugly, I love her. Is that a true story? I asked you to talk about your life. Who's ugly? Than Nui. And Winui, I went to Bagan. I don't have enough money though. All right. You're using though correctly. I went to Bagan once. I was there 3 years ago. I went to Bagan. So in your first sentence, you're using went, past tense. So you're saying you went to Bagan in the past. So your second sentence, you're using don't. You should change that to didn't. I went to Bagan. I didn't have enough money though. Bertata, although my family likes to go to Canada, my choice is to go to London. Although my family likes me to go to Canada, my choice is to go to London. Tika, I hope she will give me her cake, although I know that she doesn't. Okay, I hope she will give me her cake. Why is she going to give her cake? I hope she will give me her cake, although I know she won't give me her cake. Diallo, even though I speak English, I'm very shy to speak. Okay, that can work. Okay. All right, we're going to move on to the English Q&A. So if you have any English questions, now is the time to ask. So you can keep making examples using although, though, even though, or you can ask me another English question. I will do my best to answer all questions and help everyone. Just be patient. All right, I got to catch up here. Oh, there's so many examples, guys. Good for you. Wow, we got a lot of participation today. That's good. All right, Grace. Even though I am Korean, I feel that Korean grammar is difficult. Yeah. So that's a good example, Grace, because you're Korean, but there's some contrast. Korean grammar is difficult, so even though would put emphasis. And that's a good sentence to use, emphasis. Even though I'm Korean, I feel that Korean grammar is difficult. Cassio, even though I really want to travel abroad, I have no money for that. And Cassio, I would use although or though. Because everyone look at, if you don't see Cassio's example, look at it now. It's a good example. He says, even though I really want to travel abroad, I have no money for that. And he's using even though, but I'm going to tell him, don't use even though. Use although or though, because of course, traveling abroad takes a lot of money And if people don't have money, that's not really shocking. That's very common. So you can use even though, but I would suggest we don't need that much emphasis because it's not really shocking. Most people want to travel abroad and have no money. So I would say, although I really want to travel abroad, I have no money for that. Layla, I love watching TV even though I don't have more time. Again, for Layla, using even though, among although and though, they're the same. You can use that almost any time. The even though, let's go back. I'm going to go back. Where's the slide? Let's go back. Where did I? All right, here. If you see the even though, and it's used to emphasize more of a shocking, unexpected contrast. So I don't have, I don't have enough money for travel. That's not shocking. That's very common. And in Layla, I love watching TV even though I don't have time. That's not really shocking too. These are common stories. Most people love watching TV although they don't have time. So we want to use even though for really big, shocking contrast. Okay? Twilly. I know what could be there in my friend's party. I did not go there though. Yeah. Although I don't like, Fenny says, although I don't like spicy food, I ate with a bit of chili. A bit of chili. Hang Tong, although I'm poor, I will pay the bill. Yep. Fenny, I ate with a bit of chili, even though I don't like spicy food. Yeah, that would, you don't like spicy food, but you had the chili. That would be a good contrast using even though. Even though I have money, I can't lend you. Okay, you can use even though for that because you're my friend. I expected you to lend me money, but you shocked me and you said, I can't lend you. Florin, though the Korean language is hard, I didn't get discouraged by that yet. Fanny, I don't like spicy food. I ate with a bit chili. You should say some chili. I ate it with some chili, though. That would be better. Thana, I try to answer the question, even though I'm not sure if it is true or not. Grace, he is very poor. I want to marry him, though. Grace, is that from your life? Just marry him. Jose Silva, even though I don't like sugar, I put some in my coffee. That's correct. Diallo, though my internet is slow, I tried to connect Robin's live stream. Good. Oh, Grace, update. He is very poor. I want to marry him, though. Yep. All right. Well, I'm going to... Hello, Stanley. Though I love rice, I don't eat it. I learned Korean, though. Murtada, I am infatuated with you, Sarah. Can you just accept my proposal? You don't need though, Murtada. So, Murtada, I am infatuated with you, Sarah. Period. And then you're asking a question. Can you accept my proposal? Muzika, although I was hungry, I did not eat a lot. Twilly, even though we are a million miles apart, we can still learn together via live streaming with Teacher Robin. Yep. Even though is 2 words, Thana. And Hang Tong, he is handsome even though he doesn't have a girlfriend. That's a little strange. He is handsome. Because you're saying handsome is connected with girlfriend. It is not connected. So he is handsome even though he doesn't. You don't want to use don't. He is handsome even though he doesn't have a girlfriend. I would express that although he is handsome, or even though he's handsome, I think this example, you're right, but I think a native speaker would say even though he is handsome, he doesn't have a girlfriend. All right. Even Muzika, even though my motorbike is broken, I still use it. Renee, Jumi, I want to see you, although I know it's impossible. Good. And Diallo, can we use the word through? Though it's hard, I'm okay. What does that mean? We can't use through. That's a completely different word. I don't understand your question, Diallo. Stanley, even though I am late, but it's better than never. Haha. Okay, Stanley, you can't use although, though, even though with but. If you have although, though, even though in the same sentence as but, something's wrong. You got to take out but or you got to take out though. So you should say even though I am late, comma, it's better than never. Haha. Tika, I'm so busy today. I am still completing my paper though. Yep. Tika, Robin, I do not understand how to use though in the end of the sentence. Well, you gave me an example, Tika. So your example shows me that you understand. Try another sentence. Let's see. Okay. All right, Stephanie Paulus. She has a different question in the English Q&A. I have a question, Robin. What is the difference between everyone and everyone? I'm confused about that. Well, Stephanie, everyone is a group, like everybody, everyone, nobody, no one. So that's one word. So if you said everyone, so that means the group of people, everyone likes me. So everyone is always talking about humans. But if you're talking in a general sentence, every one of my puppies is cute. You would use everyone, every single puppy, every one of my puppies is cute, are cute. Hope that helps you understand. Florin, although English language is not my first language, I can speak it. Correct. Although I have learned, though lessons, now I understand more because of your lectures and practice. Thanks. Yes. I'm glad to help. Andy Kim, although Robin is a Canadian, he can speak Korean very well. Oh, you're very clever, Andy, to get a reaction out of me every live stream. I would say, although I have lived, even though, because I want to emphasize, even though I've lived in Korea 20 years, I do not speak Korean well. Reina Jumi, even though you don't like me, okay, let's put, even though you don't like me, comma, I still want to stay with you. Okay, Fanny is asking a different question. Where did you go and where have you been? It's the same meaning. Fanny, yes. Yes, it's the same meaning, but very important is where have you been is usually used by angry people. So your mother. You come home late and your mother is very angry. She will use where have you been? That's a little stronger, more powerful when we're using it. But where did you go is kind of more direct. Where did you go last night? And there's another question. Where have you been or where were you? Where did you go today? Where were you? Where have you been? All of these are the same. Murtada, I am a follower of this channel, dear Robin. I will change my mind if you do not read my comments here, though. Okay. I read your comment. Though English, Florin again, though English is not my first language, although I speak it often, even thought, I live in Romania. Florin, that sentence is a disaster. You're breaking a lot of grammar rules there. Congratulations. So many grammar rules broken. You can't use though, although, even though, or even thought. You guys be careful spelling though. You don't want to put a T. Grace, could you make some question sentences using although, though, even though? I don't know if we make question sentences. That's a good, I would say no. Well, you could say, I could say, we don't really want to make questions with these, Grace, but we can. Let me think. Although you are Korean, is it true you don't eat rice? That's a question. I'll type it out in the... So, yeah, we can make questions, but that's a little advanced, Grace. I don't want people... let's just get the basics of although, though, even though, and then upgrade to questions another video. Although you are Korean, okay. Fanny, is different a past form of difference? No. Different is an adjective. There is no past form of adjectives. The verb of different is differ, and then the past tense of differ would be differed. Heng Tong, even though learning English is hard, I will keep it up. Good for you. You're welcome, Stephanie. Diallo, let's see. I'm about 4 minutes behind. I'll catch up here, guys. I sometimes use the word through, though. I want to know if it is correct to use it that way. No, you can't use through. That's a very different word. You guys getting angry. You guys are confused because you see that O-U-G-H, O-U-G-H, O-U-G-H. Very similar spelling, but you know, when you add that T, the word changes to something completely different. So I saw Grace and I saw Florin. You accidentally put that T there. It's very wrong. That's a critical error, okay? You don't want to do that. You want to keep it though. Angry teacher Robin is telling you. Same with this, through. When you add that R, it's completely different. It becomes a verb. No, you don't want to use that. Be careful, guys. Be careful. Layla, I am a Saudi woman even though I try to resist the injustice of society. That's a complicated sentence, Layla, and it's a little awkward. And I think it would be better just to say, even though I'm a Saudi woman, comma, I try to resist the injustice of our society. Yeah, sometimes I think it's more my preference. Like if we go back to this, I prefer although and even though in the beginning. I think when you start putting them in the middle, they're going to start sounding awkward, all right? So that's why I highlighted beginning, because that's the safe way, the best way. So that's my recommendation to you guys. If you're using even though or although, try to use them in the beginning like I do. Charlie, I start the live stream every night. GMT, Greenwich Mean Time. Or Korea, 22:30. Lutfi, welcome. Charlie, every night, same time. Fanny is giving a suggestion. Robin, make a topic about neither, nor, or, and either for English lessons next week. I'll think about it, Fanny. I don't like teaching neither, either, or, nor. It's very confusing, but I might do it, Fanny. Thanks for the suggestion. Yeah, Tika, I get the headache. Excuse me. Rainy, Jumi, although I'm not a Korean, I can speak it well. Even though I'm not a Korean, I can speak it well. Is that true? Twilly! Okay, I'm about 5 minutes behind. I hope Twilly's still here. Why do we use plural for fish even though we caught 2 huge fish? Yeah, fish, you can see forms of fish as fishes. Now, fish generally is an uncountable noun. So I usually don't use fishes, but it is possible. Let's see. I'm thinking of a good example using fishes. Because I usually don't use it as fishes. All right. Well, I don't know where you say fishes. Like I say, I don't really use fishes. I use fish. And yeah, the internet's not helping me. When you're talking about food or the animal, I use fish the same. There are two fish in the fish tank. I ate a lot of fish last night. But it is possible to say two fishes. I don't use that. I don't know where you saw that. And to be honest, I don't know the rule exactly. I would have to search that, but I usually, probably 99% of the time, I use fish as uncountable. Russian guy, I forgot your name. Although she is ugly, she tries to be trendy by wearing brand name clothes. Murtada, I do not really like the Canadian accent, though yours is a nice one. You know that, sir. What is wrong with the Canadian accent? I've never heard someone complaining about Canadian accent before. Lutfi, you can drink iced tea, although you're sick. Yes. So you can drink iced tea, comma, although you're sick. Florin, did you drink maple syrup? Oh, you're asking a question, Florin. See, I don't want to practice questions today because it's more complicated. Did you drink maple syrup even though you're not in Canada? I would change that to, do you drink maple syrup even though you're not in Canada? And the question is no, or the answer is no. Bring coffee, Tika? Maybe. All right, we're going to end the live. It's an hour now. We're going to end the live stream in about 5 minutes. So get any last questions in, and I'll finish up the question period. Remember, tomorrow night is Monday is going to be Q&A. So if I don't answer your question today, you can ask me again tomorrow. Oh, Fanny has another suggestion. She says, make English lessons about used to. Yeah, someone asked about that last night. And I might do that. Fanny. That seems better than neither either. Used to. Good idea. Florin, is it possible to write a sentence, I fish fish? Yes. Thought is past form of thinking. Yes. Think thought. Grace, please give us lots of lessons like today's. Grace, I would love to give more lessons like today's, but that takes time, to make slides, to do a little bit of research, maybe in the future. So we'll see, Grace. I'll do my best. And Fanny, could you pronounce though, thought, through? Though, thought, through. Everyone, the GH is silent. Grace, I hatched the plan. I thought hatch means, well, hatch can have slang. Grace, if you're reading books, there's going to be a lot more slang. So, or this is more of a metaphor. So I hatched. So like an egg, the egg opens, the plan opened. So the writer is just using more expressive language, like the egg hatches, his plan opened. Lutfi, have you ever drank iced tea? Yeah, I've had iced tea. Okay, 2 minutes behind. Which one is correct? Lily looked at Sarah for a moment, or Lily looked for Sarah for a moment. Oh, those are very different sentences, Layla. You look at Sarah. So here's Sarah. You look at Sarah. And you look for Sarah means you can't find her. Where is Sarah? I'm looking for Sarah. Oh, there's Sarah. I'm looking at Sarah. Florin, I have a question. Just ask the question. Cassia, Robin, how many languages do you speak? I speak one language, English, but I know many words from many languages because I travel a lot. I know I have a lot of international vocabulary, but I'm not really good at any other language. Andy, do you use Twitter? You are a twit though. Ugh. Are you talking to me, Andy? Are you talking to me? Oh, Murtada is just an example. Okay. Yeah, Florin, you can speak 3 languages. No, Florin, you speak Romanian, English, German, and Esperanto, right? Engineers, thanks for your support. Thank you. Stanley, thank you. All right, so we're all wrapped up, I think. Any other questions, get them in. I'm going to finish up soon. Again, the schedule every day, same time. I'm here. So same time, GMT. That's Greenwich Mean Time. So you have to check your country and compare it to Korea or GMT. And then tomorrow and Tuesday, just Q&A. So if you got English questions, and I hope you have English questions, you come back and ask me tomorrow. Fenny, through has many meanings, Fenny. And I'm not going to go into that right now, but through has many meanings. Thank you, Casio. Thank you, Hang. Abdul Muntalib, thank you. Murtada, I love both the... Let's get rid of that. I love both the American and Canadian accent. How can I be excellent in that one? You have to move to America or Canada, but I recommend don't care about American or Canadian accent. Jose Silva, thanks. Reina, see you tomorrow. Carrie, whatever, thank you for teaching, Robin. And Layla, I really appreciate it. All right. I guess we'll finish up now. Thank you for watching the live stream. And I think I'll have to check more about fish and fishes because I didn't really know when exactly people use fishes. So I'll check that. Ask me in the future again about fishes. Anyway, thanks for the questions, and I'll see you all again tomorrow for the Q&A. So have a good day wherever you are, and after this, I usually go into the chat rooms to keep chatting. So join one of my chat rooms below, and you can talk to me there. All right? See you guys.